hole 10 was pretty nice. Anytime you can get a good intercept, I think we've got 295 metres at 1.45% copper equivalent. That was about 1% copper over that intercept, so that's a very impressive result. Anytime you can get that sort of stuff, you're in a fairly good class of intercepts.
Hello, welcome to Assay TV. Today I'm joined by Tom Pickett, who's the chairman of Cannindah Resources. Cannindah are an ASX listed company focused on exploration and development of gold and copper assets in Queensland, Australia. Tom, great to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us on Assay TV.
Thank you. Good to see you.
If we could start things off, a little bit of sort of the background to Cannindah Resources. Tell us a little bit about the company.
Sure. Cannindah Resources is a copper gold exploration company. We've got two projects. Our flagship Mt Cannindah project is about 100 k's south of Gladstone, and our Piccadilly project is about 100 k's west of Townsville. We're concentrating most of our efforts at the moment on the Mt Cannindah project. We got that project 100% delivered back to us after a previous joint venture. Those joint venture partners didn't hit their mark, so it came back 100% to us, and we've since been working on improving the resource on that we inherited, which was about 5.5 million tonnes at just under 1% copper. We think our current drilling program's improving that to date.
So tell us a little bit about the plans for the current drill program. Started off with you, I think you were planning on 7 holes, but then that's sort of expanded out a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, we actually weren't even initially planning on that many. We planned to do 1,500 metres, and I think we're currently up to 5,500 metres, something like that. And we've got 5 more holes recently planned. We're up to hole 11. We've got a new rig hopefully arriving in a few weeks, and we're doing a geophysical survey, downhole geophysical survey, which will look to expand both to the north and to the south. So we might end up with a few more holes where we currently are, and then we'll move over to Cannindah East.
And this campaign is it's attempting to expand outside the existing JORC resource, yeah?
Yeah, it's doing a few things. One, it's improving the robust nature of the existing resource, taking it from an inferred level to an indicated level or higher, and it's expanding the size of the current resource. So we've got some significant intercepts that take the understanding at depth a far greater distance, so down to about 762 metres, and we've got holes that are extending the nature of the strike to the north and improving the strike to the south as well. There's other areas of interest further to the south, about 1 kilometre away from where our holes 7 and 8 were located, and so we're looking to expand further in that southern direction, and we're currently expanding in the north.
Tell us a little bit about the hole 10 you've recently released. Some pretty encouraging results there, yeah?
Yeah, hole 10 was pretty nice. Anytime you can get a good intercept, I think we've got 295 metres at 1.45% copper equivalent. That was about 1% copper over that intercept, so that's a very impressive result. Anytime you can get that sort of stuff, you're in a fairly good class of intercepts worldwide.
And you're also getting it's gold and it's silver in these holes, yeah?
Yeah, there is. We've got certainly in one of our earlier holes, we were pretty impressed. We came up with basically a new gold discovery, which was at about 565 metres in hole 3. We got 11 metres at 3.4 grams per tonne gold, which was a nice surprise. And we've followed that up in 7 and 8. We got some good gold hits as well, and we're hoping to see that further to the north as it sort of dips down.
But hole 10 came sort of pretty quickly on the back of hole 9, which was also none too shabby.
Yeah, look, hole 9 was awesome. It was 400 metres at 0.91% copper equivalent. That's a massive intercept as well, with very good grade. That was drilled in an east-west direction, whereas hole 10 was more to the northwest direction, pushing further out the strike to the north, and that's sort of where we're following up now in the northern section.
And I guess the next hole 11, where are you with that?
Hole 11's looking pretty good. It's down to about 500 metres, I think, at the moment. we're hoping to wrap that up soon, and we're going to move further to the north with the current rig. And like I said, we're going to bring in a second rig to push into the south. I think hole 11 will probably be some weeks away before we're in a position to announce the results of that, but it's looking pretty good so far.
And I guess all of this drilling, eventually, are you planning a new sort of updated resource estimate or something?
Yeah, look, concurrently with all this going on, we've got to continuously work on updating the understanding of what the resource looks like. So we have an independent resource geologist, and we've been constantly providing that person with data. And we'll be updating that as we go. The challenge is that every time we put a new hole down, we get a massive intercept. So we've got to then include that into the calculation and the target estimate. We're hoping to come up with something to tell the market in a few weeks, but every time we do something, we add more data.
You mentioned, you're going to do some further drilling further to the south. I mean, what is that targeting? What is that based on?
It's based on the hits that we got out of hole 7 and hole 8. There was hundreds of meters of copper and interesting gold hits in that as well. And that doesn't tend to cut off at that point. Was the previous drilling that was done from a westerly direction back to the east, and we're going the opposite direction. The previous drilling seemed to think that there wasn't a lot there, but ours was a great intercept, hundreds of meters of copper. So it's certainly open to the south. And what we're seeing is surface expressions of what we're drilling at the moment in 7 and 8 to the south there, surface expressions of that continuing even a kilometre away. What we don't want to do is just wildcat out and hope for the best. We want to make sure that our drilling is targeted and with a specific purpose, and that's what we're aiming to do with the next few holes.
And you mentioned you're planning to do some sort of geophysics as well.
That's right. Some downhole geophysics is probably important for those northern extent and southern extent. The downhole geophysics will tell us, a long way down the hole, whether we're in a zone where we've got other mineralization, or hopefully higher grade mineralization or high grade mineralization around the hole. So we're going to do that to the north and hopefully down to the south. We've got that underway at the moment. We're just waiting on some PVC to arrive so we can put some expensive equipment down the hole and get some good readings.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, a lot of this drilling has been focused around the Mt Cannindah main project, but you've also got some regional targets as well, Cannindah East and some other smaller targets. Yeah, what's happening with those?
That's right. So we've got the Mt Cannindah area that is effectively a few hundred meters long. Let's call it 350 meters long in terms of its previously known strike. We're extending that out hopefully, and over to the east, about 500 meters to the east, there's a target called Cannindah East, and there is a little bit of, quite a lot of drilling going on over there, but it was focused on gold, and most, if not all, of the holes over there were sub 100 meters depth. There is only one hole that we could find that was even assayed for copper, but that hole did get some very good hits within the first 65 meters, or the hole was actually only 65 meters long. It got some good hits in the first 35 meters of that hole. So we certainly want to follow that up because, again, it's the same sort of material as we're seeing at surface where we're drilling at Mt Cannindah, 500 metres to the east. If we can link those two zones up, the resource will be much more significant than it already is.
So you need to go back to Cannindah East and drill a bit deeper, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. It's certainly something that we're looking at. We're going to remodel a bit of existing geophysics and maybe do some induced polarization geophysics over there and confirm it. But we're going to hit it with the drill in any case. But that should give us some larger targets for follow-up.
Now, which of your sort of other regional targets are you looking at? You've got these ones: Monument, Lifesaver, Apple Tree.
Yeah, we've got a lot of different areas to the south. Mount Theodore is one that we're kind of pushing to now, which is about a K away from hole 7 and 8. And then, yes, as you quite rightly point out, there's Monument and Apple Tree, and there's significant surface expression of copper and some limited drilling, but good drill hits in terms of grade at Apple Tree, for example, a couple of % copper down there. So there's much more to follow up. And the advantage is that it's all sitting on an existing mining lease.
Absolutely. So, yeah, do you want to go into that a little bit? So all of your projects are within the mining lease, yeah? Then so in terms of permitting, you're pretty well set up.
Yeah, very well set up. We just recently got the mining leases renewed until 2034, I think that is. The way we can sort of explain it is that everything that we're doing is on an existing mining lease surrounded by 2 EPMs. So if you can imagine, the EPM area is about 71.5 square kilometres. The mining lease area is about 6. All the drilling we're doing right now is improving a resource that's already on a mining lease. So on a mining lease, 100 k's from an existing port facility with a haul road going past the mine gate. We've tried to tick off all the logistic boxes so that anytime you invest in an exploration play, you want to think it's going to be a mine one day, we certainly can be.
And in terms of your sort of funding, how's that looking for financing all of this drilling you need to do and want to do?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we've explained to everybody to date our ability to raise capital, and we've done it previously at a price higher than current market. We have a very supportive major shareholder who has fairly deep pockets and expressed a significant willingness to support us going forward. We've got that option plus a number of other options that the board's considering, so we don't have any problem with raising money. We certainly think that we're well covered for our program.
Fantastic. And just touch a little bit on your other project, Piccadilly. Tell us a little bit about that project and what's happening there.
Yeah, Piccadilly's more gold focused. It is a pure gold play, and it's 100 k's to the west of Townsville, again on a mining lease, surrounded by 2 EPMs. We've just added 2 new EPMs to that, and the historical drilling that we have available to us on that has shown some fairly significant intercepts of high-grade gold of up to 100 grams per tonne over a couple of metres, which is certainly worthy of follow-up. There is some very good surface expression of gold within quartz veining at the Piccadilly mining lease, 79.4 grams per tonne within channel sampling of rock chips and trenching. So there's a lot of holes that we recently did, RC holes, that I think we did 31 holes and we got gold hits in every one of them. So the Piccadilly project is certainly worthy of significant follow-up. The new areas is something of interest. We're going to send some people out there to do some soil surveys and other geochemical surveys to get an idea of where we should drill. Once we know that, we'll get stuck into it.
But I guess the focus at the moment, it sounds like you've got your hands full pretty much with Mt Cannindah, though.
I'd never say we've got our hands full. There's always good stuff to do, but yeah, Mt Cannindah is certainly something that is sort of the gift that keeps on giving. So we're going to continue to drill that. We'll hopefully continue to get these significant intercepts of hundreds of metres of copper and great gold hits as well. If we can push the strike out to the north and to the south and then push over to Cannindah East, the resource is going to be quite large by the end of it.
Well, thank you very much for giving us that update on the project, and we look forward to you coming back a little later and telling us about some of your future holes.
Love to. Thank you.
Thank you very much.